Carol, how much longer before you're going to get some stupid milk over here to Chris? He has to leave for school in about 5 minutes.
Listen.
Don't you just listen, brat? I can't believe it. Let's get going here. For crying out loud. You can't take what?
I can't take this.
No, I was just out there. I can't even get the truck out here like I told it to.
Everything's
I'm just fed up with it. Now get out of my sight!
The denominator are not factors of 100. It's very simple. My parents didn't care if I lived or died. What is that? What is all that about?
Don't bother me right now.
Okay, Kim, sir.
And don't go and bother your father either.
Do you know what it's like seeing your father drunk and sick every night?
What are you looking at?
The way my stepfather used to look at me, it just gave me the creeps. And after a while, I just couldn't take that anymore.
Stupid piece of bread and toast. That's all you ever on this stinking house, you dumb broad. 12 years married, you and I have a son. That's about it.
You have your job to do. You have your body to take care of. That's all you do.
Look, I don't want to... Where the hell are the gates in this place? I was scrambled eggs about 3 hours ago. This is stupid. I can't believe it.
You keep on scrambling eggs. I am not going to do this. You crazy man.
Some people have real problems at home, don't they? I hope you don't. But do you know what each one of those stories had in common? Each one was told by someone who had run away. Now, what I'm going to try to do in the next few minutes is to show you why you shouldn't run away from home. Actually, my job's going to be pretty easy, for most of you don't intend to run away. On the other hand, some of you have thought about it once or twice, haven't you? I imagine a few of you have thought about it a lot, and that's serious. I guess you're the ones that I'm talking to. When I was asked to appear on this program, I tried to think about how I could convince you not to run away from home. The funny thing was, I realized that if you look at it one way, everybody leaves home sooner or later, runs away. Well, walks away from home. For example, someday don't you intend to get a job to make money? Maybe you'll work in a factory. Maybe an office. Or maybe you'd like to have your own business. Perhaps you hope to go to college, to learn a profession. Someday, don't most of us intend to get married and have children? Sure we do. And for most people, that means leaving home. So what's the problem with running away if everybody does it sooner or later? Well, if you're 11, 13, or even 16, you must realize that right now you're not quite ready to leave home. You're not really able to completely support yourself. Oh, you will be someday, and probably soon, but not right now, isn't that true? Let's look at that factory again. There are no 15-year-olds working here, are there? Even if you could handle the job and they wanted to hire you, they couldn't because of the law. The same thing is true in this office, or almost anywhere else you would like to work. And if you couldn't get a job, you sure couldn't afford an apartment. They wouldn't let you into college because you haven't completed high school. So if you ran away now, you could never become a teacher, a nurse, or a lawyer. Now, we've all heard terrible stories about people who ran away. You know the kind I mean.
There was no place to sleep, and I didn't have any money. There was just nowhere to go, so I slept in a bus station. I even slept in alleys a few times.
I was thinking, like, where am I going to spend the night? What am I going to do? It was really scary the first night. The very first night, I was scared.
You may not believe this, but I was so hungry that I couldn't find nothing to eat, so I even looked in the garbage cans.
What I remember most out there is just how cold it gets. It's cold. There's no place to go, no place to sleep, no place to get warm, and you almost feel like you're going to freeze to death.
At night, all the weirdos come out, and I was really scared the whole time.
You have a pretty good idea of what it's like to be a runaway, don't you? You already know that for a runaway, it is dangerous out there. It's true that most people are good, but there are bad guys who make it their business to spot a runaway. They know a runaway is an easy target because he's alone, trying to avoid the police. Your money can be stolen. Everything you've taken with you might be stolen. You may be forced to commit crimes for other people. There's always the chance you'll get physically hurt. And as you've heard, sometimes even worse things happen. By the way, do you know what the experts found out about runaways? Almost all of them return home in a day or two.
Hi, Mom. This is Dale.
Dale, are you all right?
Yeah. I want to come home now.
Are you sure you're all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I just got my backpack.
Now, why would that be? Well, not because they were caught, but rather because each one found out what you already know. They weren't prepared. And it's no fun out there for someone your age.
Now stay there.
Okay.
It seems to me there's one thing we can say for sure. No matter what the problem is that would make you want to leave home, running away is not a good answer. What we have to do is find better answers. For one thing, you have to prepare yourself to leave home successfully. Of course, that's why there are schools. Now, I know that sounds pretty obvious, but we sometimes forget it, don't we? If you're getting bad grades, or you think you're not popular, it's easy to start thinking that school is a bad place, a place to run away from. It's also easy to forget that what you're really doing in school is learning as much as you can to prepare yourself to be independent. So one obvious answer is to make sure you stay in school, right? But if you stay in school, it probably means you're going to have to stay at home. Now, if you're having problems at home, you're just going to have to learn to live with them a while. Perhaps you can't solve those problems. They may be your parents' problems, and not really yours.
You don't know what the heck you're doing in your...
How do you learn to live with them? Well, if you're upset or depressed or angry, one of the best things you can do is talk about it. It's as simple as that. Just talk about it with someone you like and trust. You can talk to your brother or your sister, your best friend, your teacher, perhaps the counselors at school. When you talk to someone about what's bothering you, the hurt goes away a little, and you'll find the problem easier to live with. Now, on the other hand, if one of your friends has a problem that might lead to running away, you can help by being a good listener. Encourage them to talk about their troubles.
Smith. It seems I can't do anything right for that man.
That's one of the things friends are for. Well, as you can see, when I sat down to think about it, everything I came up with to convince you not to run away, you already know. Someday you intend to leave home, but right now you're not prepared, are you? And if you did go now, it would probably be a bad experience, wouldn't it? To prepare yourself, you need to stay in school. And if you do, I guess you're going to have to live with any problems you may have at home. And one of the best ways to do that is to talk about those problems with a friend or someone you trust. So you see, it turns out I don't have to convince you not to run away after all. I probably couldn't anyway. I guess what I've been trying to do is to remind you that you already know better answers if you'll just take the time to think of it.